Most people don't realize this. Attention online is starting to behave like currency, and once you notice it, you start seeing it everywhere. Because the way people interact online has changed. It's no longer just about information, it's about attention and what people will do to keep it. Recent behavioral studies on digital engagement show something interesting. When people receive fast emotional responses online, they are far more likely to continue interacting. Not because they plan to, but because their brain registers it as a reward. This is part of a psychological loop. Uncertainty combined with response creates reinforcement. If attention is predictable, it loses value. But when it's inconsistent, it becomes more engaging. This is the same system behind notifications, social media, and even messaging behavior. Now, in real life, this doesn't look complicated. It looks normal. Someone sends a message, they get a reply. It feels good, so they reply again and again. Not because they're thinking deeply about it, but because it feels natural. Over time, that interaction starts to change. What started as a simple conversation turns into something they want to maintain. They adjust their behavior slightly just to keep the response going, and they don't even notice it happening. This is where the shift begins, because attention no longer feels like attention, it feels like value. And when something feels valuable, people try to hold on to it. This is where decisions start to change. Not big decisions, small ones, subtle ones, the kind you don't question. And those small decisions start to build a pattern. Across digital platforms, this pattern repeats constantly. Different people, different situations, same behavior. Because it's not about the platform, it's about the psychology behind it. Most people think they're making logical decisions online, but in reality, they're responding to emotional triggers. Triggers they don't even see. That's what makes it powerful. And that's what makes it easy to miss. Because nothing feels forced. Everything feels natural. But that's exactly how the system works. Quietly, consistently, in the background. Now here's the part most people never realize. You don't lose control all at once. You don't suddenly make a big decision. It happens gradually. One interaction at a time, one response at a time, one small moment at a time, until it becomes a pattern. And once it becomes a pattern, it feels normal. That's why people don't question it, because by the time they notice, it's already part of their behavior. Now here's the reward in understanding this. Once you see the pattern, you stop reacting to everything automatically. You start noticing what's actually influencing your decisions. Instead of just responding, you observe. And that small shift changes everything. Because awareness breaks the loop. Not completely, but enough to make better decisions. And that leads to the real lesson. Most online behavior isn't about logic, it's about emotional reinforcement. And attention is one of the strongest triggers in that system. So the goal isn't to avoid it completely, that's not realistic. The goal is to understand it, to recognize when it's happening, and to decide how you respond to it. Because once you understand the system, you're no longer just part of it, you can actually see it. And once you see it, you start seeing it everywhere. If you want more videos like this, where we break down real digital behavior, psychology, and money patterns, subscribe to the channel. Because most people only see what's happening on the surface. We focus on what's happening underneath it.